Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I've included my email, my website, the November host code. November is quickly going. Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Pinterest. Golly, in October I got COVID, and in November I got RSV. So I haven't been with you in a while, but I'm so glad to be feeling better and to be back with you. So I first saw Book Fold a few years ago, and it's fun. And you can do it vertical or horizontal. This idea layout came from Joanne Hewins. Now, she did hers different, but the idea of putting the barn with the book fold was hers. And some of her ideas are here, so I wanted to give her credit. And it opens like a book. So let's make one, and I'll show you how to do it. It's super fun. And it's really quite easy. So the first thing we're going to do is I have a 4.5 by 11, scored at 5.5 and 6 3/4. So I fold this part down like regular, and I fold this part up. So this is your book fold. It opens like a book. So the first thing you want to do is adhere this down so it doesn't open. I've seen people do it different ways, but I'm just going to adhere it down with some Tombow green glue and put that. I'm going to hold it for a second just to get that really holding, and then I'm going to put this to the side. Okay, so there's your card base. What else do you need? I'm using a mat, 2 different mats. The gray mat is, for this side, is 1 inch by 4 inches. And this is a 4 by 4 inch. This is your basic gray. And then you'll need a scrap that you're going to cut out your wreath on. And I have 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I had to make sure I got that right. So let me get started, and I realized my 1 3 3/4 piece fell over, so I'm quickly cutting another one. And I'm going to show you, we're going to use Stampin' Write markers today. We are also going to use blends. I was trying to make my barn look older, so I started with colored pencils, but it wasn't vivid enough. So here's my 2 whites. So let me show you what we're going to do. And where is my little piece of DSP? That didn't come out of the envelope. So I can go ahead and put, this is a 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of DSP. This is from the candy cane paper because I just like that nice red dot. You have to be careful on the candy cane paper because it does have sorbet too. So if you want red, you got to make sure you get the red piece and not the sorbet piece. That one I need to work on a little bit. But here is this. Alrighty. I'm going to adhere that right here. I put it to the gray mat. And that is my outside. I've seen people put ribbons across there. I chose not to, because when I am sending this in the mail, sometimes it's better to send without a bunch of that ribbon and different things in your envelope if you're doing your Christmas cards. Okay, now I'm moving stuff out of the way. I am going to stamp the barn. You notice how I am taking the stamp and I'm putting the ink on this way instead of going the opposite way. I'm doing it this way for a large stamp like that. And I'm just using my Memento black. And I am going to stamp it. So I want to stamp it so I have a little room for trees and a little room for the same. So I'm going to stamp it. And you notice I'm trying to make the bottom as straight as I can. And then I hold the paper, pick it straight up. So that is my barn. Now, I have Stampin' Up masking paper. Does anybody know where Nancy put the Stampin' Up masking paper? Nope, I don't either. So the other thing you can use is a Post-it note. So I stamped it on a Post-it note and cut it out. And I'm going to adhere that right on top, because we're going to do masking with this. Now, there is the barn dies, so you could go ahead and cut out a separate one and pop it up if you chose. I just decided I wanted to do masking. I haven't done masking in a while. And I have my tree I'm using in shaded spruce. And you notice this is just going to come out behind in a minute. I'm going to put one tree on the edge, and then one tree maybe like here. Okay, so right now it looks kind of weird, but when you take off your mask, it looks like the trees are behind it. Isn't that cool? It's simple. Very simple technique, but it really adds a punch, if you ask me. So next, I'm going to add Merry Christmas to you and yours. And I'm going to put that on the bottom. Now, here's what we're going to do. Actually, I could do the other stamping too. Let me do the other stamping while we're right here. I'm going to put on the inside the other saying from the barn, the Christmas barn. And I don't even know if I showed you that. It's got a couple of nice sayings, and it's just got some really neat parts to it. And the barn dies are even more cool. There's all sorts of fun things you can do with them. And I'm going to put May Joy Fill Your Heart this season. And then I am going to get those little sleigh riders going. And I'm going to put those just down on the bottom. Now, I would have some markers or blends out for people if they come to my class if they want to. I personally am going to leave it just blank. But that is a personal preference. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Stampin' Write markers, not my blends. And I am going to color this little wreath. And I'm using Real Red and Shaded Spruce. For a long time, Stampin' Up! Didn't have a dark green for holidays. And every time we had a survey, I'd put, we need a dark green. So when Shaded Spruce came out, I rejoiced because I really like this green. It's so pretty for the holiday. So these are my Stampin' Write markers. And what I'm going to do is we used to call it huffing. We do not call it that anymore. We call it take a breath of fresh air. You blow on it. You wet the ink. And you put it down. Now, if you're not really keen on that, you could do it again. Or just because I'm using scraps, I can either do it again or I can just use my pen to bring that right in. So let's see. Do I really like it? Yeah, I'm going to call it good. I'm going to go. I don't have it in camera, but I have the little die that comes with it. I'm going to go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut that little wreath out. And it is very easy. It's a super easy die. And here's what I get back. Isn't that cute? It's just a simple little wreath. Now, so I'm done with my markers. I'm done with all my stamping. Now you can have lots of different colors. You can do the light red. I think last time I did the dark red. I think this time I'm going to do the light red. And I'm going to start with the smaller tip of my blends. And I'm going to go around and just do kind of outlines. I'm keeping everything else white. And I'm going to just go around so I've got a good outline. And I don't have any of the, because I've done this before and I goofed it up. And if you really look at the first one I did, there is some mess there. I went on a couple of them, on the windows, on the door frames, and that's okay. So I'm using the smaller tip to kind of go around things. I'm not taking an hour to do it. I'm not making super fuss. I'm just going around so that when I go to big color it, it's easy. All right, let me go here, get this one outlined, outline anything. Because once I outline everything, then I can go through and super quick color. And if you look back at this one, you notice, oops, there's a little part on the red, there's a little bit there. I don't think you notice it once it's all done. Some people don't like that. And so for those of you that are more fussy, make sure you go around really carefully first. Around the door, add just a little bit. And I mean, add the teeniest amount to those parts, because if you add too much, it'll get on the white. Trust me, because I've already done that for you. So you don't have to do that. See, even there, it's tricky. And I'll go around this. I think I'm almost there. I don't normally color on camera, but I think this one is a good one to show you how to color this in as quick a way as you can, I think. Like I say, it may get a teeny tiny bit on the white. That's okay. You know, I suppose it depends on who you're sending it to. All right. Then I've got everything outlined. Now I'm going to come back with a bigger tip, and I'm just going to color as quick as I can. Now, not crazy, but now it's easier to just color it in. Now with these tips, don't press too hard. They are, oops, I didn't outline that one, did I? They are not meant to like push really hard. They are meant to use very gentle. And I have a lot of them have lasted a long time. Now, the ones that haven't is when somebody has pushed too hard on it. Could be me, could be a customer. Those are the ones that don't work as well. But if you make it gentle, they usually work. And see how quick that is once you do your outline. Now, on this one, I popped it up. On this one, I'm not going to. I don't know why. I want to see both so you can kind of say, I like it popped up. I don't like it popped up. This Whisper White is, remember, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I am just adding this here. Now I'm going to put this, on the front. And I think this time I'm going to, instead of popping my wreath up, I'm just going to glue it on. And then we'll have to see which one we like best. All right, so this wreath is glued on. I'm going to put this on the inside. Like I say, I will, for people that come to my classes, I will have markers out if they choose to color the inside. People, I didn't. You know, you can, but I think it's just kind of cute like that. So, to pop or not to pop? That is the question. And this is the lighter red. That is the darker red. They both work. I might even try cherry cobbler with one and see if that also works. So I hope you have enjoyed this book fold. Not hard. Learning to do a little masking, and I'll tell you, the masking paper works great. But I am in the process of cleaning my stamp room, and do you think I can find my masking paper? No, I cannot. So we will see how that goes. We're coloring with the blends, and when you do this technique where you're coloring on the stamp, use your Stampin' Right markers and just use a breath of fresh air. So hopefully you learned a few little techniques there, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm so glad to be back with you. Have a great day.